Hey, what's up, everybody? There are a lot more people out there in the world that do not know about this channel than there are that do. So if you could, please hit that like button and subscribe so that the YouTube platform will help spread the word. Thank you. What's up? This is Delio coming to you another video. Always got to make sure I give a shout out to my music. If you like original music by me or interested in hearing that, make sure you head to Delio on Spotify or your favorite streaming platforms. All right, so in the previous video, I did a remake of Jay-Z's Who Gonna Run This Town. You can see that right now. The link is in the description. And in this episode of Remaker T2K series season 3, I'm going to cover Michael Jackson's. For the Michael Jackson heads, y'all stand up. For the Michael Jackson heads, we're going to do Break It Down. Break It Down is a track produced by Dr. Freeze, and it was on the Invincible album. So this should be pretty cool. And another thing is that we're going to demonstrate how to create breaks in a song to transition from a hook to a verse. In programming music, even me sometimes, it's very easy to get lazy and just sort of let the groove transition to another one. But we're going to create space, and I'm going to show you how to do that across all the tracks. So the platform I'm using is the MPC. We got the MPC running right here, and we're just going to start off with the chords. So with the chords, I am just using a E piano off of the Roland XV5080 because it was used in that time. And you know, you don't want something that sounds like an electric piano. You want something that sounds like something else trying to sound like an E piano. If you understand what I'm saying, let me know if you understand what I'm saying in the comments below. You want something that sounds like something trying to sound like something else, because that in itself is its own sound. So electric piano, 3 chords. So we're going to do that for about 4 bars. And let's do that. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we have that laid in. And that's basically the Roland 5080 right there. So let's go to the next track. Now, the next track is basically, we're going to do strings, but we're going to do something different strings. We're going to, a little bit of different chords there, but we're going to come back to that. Let's do the bass line. Bass line, I'm actually using, believe it or not, a stock plugin from the MPC called the Bassline. And it's just enough, and it's very easy to get lost in looking for the right bass sound. But where I'm at right now, it's very easy to kind of just let yourself have the sound you have, and let it's more important about the mixing of the sounds. Yeah, of course the preset matters, but as you know, if you got a lot of plugins and sounds, it's very easy to get lost in that. But we're just going to do the bass line. Very simple. I got it mixed in there so it translates very well, and we just add that to the keys like this. That's it, right? And now we're going to add some drums. I got like a rim shot. And we're going to add some swing to it. We got a little bit of swing. We're going to be at about a 60. We're going to set the swing to about 60 because we want that kind of that shuffle. So let's start with that, and this later sounds on there like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So we have the shaker there. It swung a little bit to kind of give it that groove. And we're going to add that open and close hi-hat like this. Really simple there. And I'm going to take the full velocity off. Now, full velocity on the MPC, this also happens on Machine 2 as well, but full velocity enables you to tap the pad however hard or soft you want, and it's going to trigger the sound at the loudest sound possible, okay? But we're going to do that to the 808. And I got a snap here, rim shot. We're going to mix those together. But first we're going to add that hi-hat and then the snare and the kick. Here we go. And the interesting thing about that, you know, you can use samples with reverb baked into them, meaning that there are already sounds inside them, or you can use dry sounds. Like that's a dry sound. Got a rim shot, a little bit of reverb in there, a little bit of snap with a little bit of room reverb. Mix them together, experiment, see how they sound. And we're going to add the kick. I'm going to go to 16 velocity so I can get that, so I can make sure I want the velocity I want. Now, 16 velocities, what that means is that across all 16 pads, you have different levels of velocity. So pad 1 is this loud, and pad 16 is this loud. And you can always get the exact velocity you want without worrying about hitting the pad too hard or too soft to get the kind of loudness you want. This is just one technique. And you use this a lot of different ways. But in this scenario here, we're going to use that to kind of give you that doom. Hear that? Right? So we're gonna put that down there like that. Oops. 1, 2, 3, and. What we're also going to add is some flute. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. All right, got a groove in there. Now, another thing that we got that I kind of heard in the track, and of course, there's always going to be some things left out. If you know what I left out in the track, feel free to let me know in the comments below. We're going to add a little guitar there. And actually, I'm using the expand plugin for that. The expand plugin. So that's in there. Let's add that in there. Here we go. All right, let's add the strings. And notice that like for the keys, I use these chords right here. But you can extend that chord to this. So we're going to use that. Keep it really simple. It's enough. It's enough. Break of dawn. Let's put that string in there like this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a verse section of this song. Now, the verse section of this song is typically broken down. So we're going to take the strings out, and we're going to take the flute out, and then we're going to create a drum break, meaning we're going to make the drums take a break, transitioning from the verse back into the hook. So I'm going to copy that whole sequence, label it verse so I know what I'm doing, and then what we're going to do is we're going to create a break. But the first thing I want to do is mute out the strings, and I'm going to mute out the flute. So we got this. And we want that to sound like that because we want to signify that we're back in the hook by adding the strings and flute like this. Right? So I'm going back to the verse, and inside of the verse, I'm going to actually highlight multiple tracks. And in order to do that on the MPC, as far as recording multiple tracks at the same time, and the interesting thing is, and I won't go too far into it, but you can actually select different ports and different outputs on every track, routing them wherever you want them to go, and you can determine what you want to record at the same time. But in this instance, what we're going to do is we're going to select all of them, and what we're going to do is create a little bit of a break by recording over what's already there. Because when you hit the record button and not the overdub button, when you record, you actually erase what's on tape. Whereas if you hit overdub, you're overdubbing what's on tape and adding to it. But we want to cut away, creating space. So let's listen. We got 8 bars here. Here we go. Now I'm about to create a break. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. So at that kick, I hit record, and it's clearing out all the data behind that point where I punched in. If we look at the information from the track, you can see that there's like a gap of space there. And I'm going to see if I can show that space there. So over here on the right, you see how there's like a bunch of space there. These are all my tracks. And on measure 3, you create space there, and that's where you can get fancy with your production and make things more interesting by providing room for a drum fill or a sound effect or a bass guitar slide. You got space there, and that's what kind of helps one song transition to another one. Because a lot of times where you're playing live with live musicians, there's a fill and everybody's feeling it, and we kind of do something special going from one section of the song to another. This is how you can take that live fill and put it in the digital realm in your music production like this. So we got that there. So what I want you to do is listen to the transition from the verse to the hook. 2, 3, measure 3, measure 4, okay, measure 5. As you see, we got that space on the right hand side right there. Boom, 2, 3, 4, and hook. Hear that? Didn't even have to touch it. Now, of course, like, and I've heard recent users sort of do this on their playlist screen, but as you can see, it's a little difficult to get exactly how much you want off of here. So I actually kind of like just hitting a button where I want it to be. So for example, let's say I get creative and I want to create like kind of like an inside break on the track by taking it out and putting it back in. So what I'm going to do now is highlight all the recording tracks, all the MIDI tracks, all the music tracks, right? We're playing. Now watch what happens on the screen when I hit the record button. Two, 3, right there, boom. See, and to see that right there, I get a little excited when I do this live. That forgive me, get a little excited, but hear that space right there. So you can create that space. 2, 3, boom. And live drummers and musicians do this all the time. So you can add that to your music production. You don't have to just let the loop just keep going. You can create sort of instances where things are changing inside. I'll play that for you again. And then we're going to go to the verse. We're on the hook. Right there, boom. And you can always add more there in there, but now you got space. Now we're coming back to the verse right here. It's going to change screens. See? Now we're back on the verse, and you can see already on the right side of the screen that there's space there. So I'm going to cue it up to go back to the hook. Man, break of dawn. Right there. Break of dawn. Right? Break of dawn. Right there. You know, you could do like a, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, let's add that in there. I'm going to take the quantize off so I can do a right there. Just for kicks. This is just adding your own flavors to it. This is not in the song, but I see a window of opportunity here, and I'm going to take it. And I'm going to dub. I'm going to turn the time correction off. Right? And let's hear what we got. I messed up. We're going to try that again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's play it back. We're gonna go back to that. Look at that MIDI data right there. You see that little arch I did right there? But let's check it out. Let's see what happens there. And this is how you add more feel. This is how you add just something extra than just letting the thing. You know, I think this is how the big dogs do it. But I could be wrong. 2, 3. Right there. Yeah, so that's how this one works right there. And if you like the instrumental, head over to Dilly Gang Beats YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. If you want to hear sort of like a full-length instrumental version of it, and I have a free version of it at dillygangbeats.com just for your listening entertainment, just to study. And I'll see y'all guys in the next video. And I hope to see y'all guys in the next episode. Peace out. I'm gone.